The Warri Refining and Petrochemical Company (WRPC), one of Nigeria's key oil refineries, has once again ceased operations barely 1 month after the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC) announced that the facility had resumed full operations following a multi-million-dollar rehabilitation effort. The shutdown, which took place in January 2025, has sparked outrage and concern among industry stakeholders and the Nigerian public, especially given the staggering $897 million spent on the plant's rehabilitation. This latest development comes at a time when Nigerians are grappling with high fuel prices, supply shortages, and broader concerns about energy security. The refinery, located in Warri Delta State, was originally commissioned in 1978 and was designed to process 125,000 barrels of crude oil per day. It has historically produced a range of petroleum products including diesel, kerosene, naphtha, and fuel oil. For years, however, the facility has struggled with operational inefficiencies, chronic underperformance, and lengthy periods of inactivity. In late 2023, NNPC announced that it had completed the first phase of the rehabilitation work and that the refinery had been restored to working condition. This announcement was met with cautious optimism, as it suggested that Nigeria could soon begin refining its own petroleum products domestically at a meaningful scale, potentially reducing reliance on imported fuel and stabilizing the local market. President Bola Tinubu praised the achievement, expressing confidence that the revamped facility would boost the nation's refining capacity and contribute significantly to energy self-sufficiency. However, hopes were dashed just a few weeks later, when reports confirmed that the refinery had once again gone offline. The shutdown was reportedly triggered by safety concerns involving the crude distillation unit (CDU) main heater, a critical component of the refinery's operational structure. The sudden halt in operations, so soon after the highly publicized restart, has raised uncomfortable questions about the quality and transparency of the rehabilitation process. Despite the enormous financial outlay, the facility reportedly failed to produce premium motor spirit (PMS), commonly known as petrol, before shutting down. This failure has been particularly troubling to Nigerians who were expecting a boost in local petrol production to relieve the pressures of persistent fuel scarcity. Observers have begun to question the technical integrity of the rehabilitation, as well as the competence of the contractors and consultants who oversaw the work. Moreover, the Warri Refinery's shutdown is not an isolated case. Similar concerns have been raised about the Port Harcourt refinery, which was also rehabilitated at a cost of $1.5 billion. Though it was recommissioned in November 2024, it is reportedly operating at a fraction of its installed capacity, far below what was promised by NNPC. This pattern of underperformance, following huge investments, has raised concerns about systemic inefficiencies and possible mismanagement within the country's oil and gas sector. The recurring failures of Nigeria's state-owned refineries reflect a deeper structural problem that goes beyond technical malfunctions. For decades, these facilities have been plagued by corruption, poor maintenance, and an over-reliance on imported petroleum products. The continuous cycle of shutdowns and costly refurbishments without tangible results is viewed by many as a waste of public resources. As public anger mounts, calls for accountability have grown louder. Industry experts, civil society organizations, and political commentators are demanding a full audit of the rehabilitation projects and a clear explanation of how nearly $1 billion could be spent on a facility that ceased operation within weeks of its relaunch. There is also increasing pressure on the government to rethink its refinery management model and explore public-private partnerships or full privatization to ensure efficiency and performance. The Warri Refinery shutdown serves as a stark reminder of the challenges facing Nigeria's oil sector. With dwindling public trust and a growing need for energy reform, the government must urgently address the issues plaguing the country's refining capabilities. Without transparency, accountability, and strategic long-term planning, Nigeria risks remaining trapped in a cycle of failed projects and lost potential in its most critical industry.